for example number 2, we have something that looks like this. It's actually a story problem. This is somebody's house. That's their chimney. Where this is the point Y, this is the point X, this is the point Z, this is the altitude height, and this is a point W. We're told that this is 5.5 meters, that this is 3.1 meters, that from here to here, is 6.3. Make that 6 a little more. Better. Okay? And we're trying to figure out what is the height, h. So the question is, find h. So now this is, I gotta have like some triangles. Oh, I forgot to mention that this is this way. So to find this, I'm going to separate this into the triangles. So if I separate this into the triangles, then I'm going to have one triangle that looks like this, which is x, w, y. And then if I label that, this is going to be 3.1, and this will be h. And then a little bit bigger one. Actually, I'm going to move this down a little bit. So that's that triangle. And then if I go and draw the other similar triangle, this one here, this is going to be Z, this would be W, and this would be Y. So I'm changing the orientation so everything matches. So X corresponds to Y in this scenario. Y corresponds to Z. And then lastly, we got one great big triangle. That one's going to be, this is Z, and this is Y, and this is X. So those are the three triangles that are similar. Let's label this from Y to Z is 5.5. Now, if you're wondering how I knew all that stuff, we just got to go to the example that we did to figure out that all three triangles are corresponding. If this is a 90-degree angle, then this is a 90-degree angle. So you have one little triangle, another little triangle, and then this is 90 degrees, right? Okay. So you just start with the 90-degree angle, look at the longest side. This is the hypotenuse of this little triangle here. This is the hypotenuse of this little triangle here. And then if you look at the great big triangle, this is the hypotenuse, okay? But now when we get down here, this is a little tricky. So for this one is 5.5, but from Y to W is actually the value of H. And then the big one we have, or not the big one, but the medium-sized one, we actually have 6.3, 5.5, and then 3.1. Okay, so I'm trying. What I'm trying to do is, if I look at this image, this is the little triangle. Okay, the hypotenuse from X to Y is 3.1. This is my 90-degree angle. I'm just taking it and flipping it over this way. Okay, this line right here is H. And then from X to W, I don't really know what it is. So if you notice, I left it blank because they didn't give me any information from X to W. So I just left it blank. Now on the next similar triangle, I'm just taking this one, The hypotenuse is 5.5, 5.5. This short side on the 90-degree angle is H. And again, I don't know what, this is the great big one. I don't know anything other than H on that. Well, I suppose I could do Y to W. That's 6.3. They don't list it in the textbook, but that's okay. Or not Y to W, Z to W is 6.3. Because from here to here is 6.3. And then the great big triangle, that is this triangle up here, just kind of spun around. The great big triangle Y, X, Z. Okay? So now all three of these triangles are similar. Now notice that this triangle has all of the side lengths. And we're asked to find H. Now it doesn't matter which one I plug it into, but I'm going to plug it into this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say X, Y over Y, W is equal to X, Y is equal to X, Z. And then that's going to correspond, YW corresponds to ZY. Okay. So now I'm going to plug in the numbers. XY is 3.1. YW is H. XZ, X to Z, is 6.3. And then YZ, Y to Z, is 5.5. Okay. So then we cross multiply. I'm going to get 3.1 times the quantity 5.5 and set that equal to 6.3 H. Get out my handy dandy calculator. And I'm going to plug in 3.1 times 5.5, and I get 17.05. See that? So all this becomes 17.05 is equal to 6.3 H. Then I'm just going to divide both sides by 6.3. Do that on my handy dandy calculator. Divide by 6.3, and I get 2.7 something something something. So H then is approximately, I'm going to round to the nearest tenth. So I've got a 7 here, which is in the 10th spot. To round to the tenths, I got to look at the digit to the right of that. If it's lower than 4 or lower, then I'm going to round down. If it's 5 or higher, then I round up. So this one means I'm going to round down to 2.7. And that's the answer.